As far as I know, this is the first lifted 2018 Kia Sorento with gray paint and faded headlights in existence in the entire world. Hey guys, welcome back to HRG Offroad. Today we have this wonderful example of Korean engineering. This is a Kia Sorento 2018 model. It only has one real main problem. It sits too low. We're gonna fix that problem today with the HRG 1.5-inch lift, available right now at hrgoffroad.com. Now the kit is really intended for the 4-wheel drive version. The 2-wheel drive has some weird stuff going on the passenger axle. We'll touch on that later. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Go ahead. All right, first thing we're gonna do is take off these main bolts that hold the strut to the hub. Those were pre-loosened. Now we're gonna take the ABS wire off, and then you got one more 12mm bolt for the brake line. All right, now this is a little bit of a shortcut. I think if you're really doing this thoroughly, you would want to take the windshield wipers off and remove this whole cowl cover, but I don't think we really need to do that. We just need to get access to these nuts right here. And if you have a skateboard wheel laying around, just jam it in there. And this is a lot easier if you have a helper. So one person up top loosening the nuts and another person down here just like catching it. This out like so. And you want to be careful. I always say this, but you want to be careful not to let this fall out too far. The axle can come out of the inner cup. There's like little bearings in there, and you have to be careful it doesn't come out. If it does, you can still fix it, but it's easier if you don't let it do that. So just want to be aware of that. All right, so these are a left and a right spacer, and as you can see, they're marked as such. And you can't put these on incorrectly, so they're only gonna fit onto the strut one way. But, and I always have to say this, but left side is driver's side, right side is passenger side on US models. So this is the left side. And the way you have to look at this is here, this faces the wheel, right? And as you can see, the left, and the star points to the top. If you're standing at the front bumper looking at it, the L is gonna read straight up and down. Now again, this is easier with a helper. So one person is gonna lift it up into the car, and the other person gets one of the nuts started to hold it in place so it doesn't fall out. Is this dead? I need to know if it's dead. Yeah, it's dead. Brake line obviously goes on the bottom, and the ABS wire goes on the top. Okay. All right, we're halfway through the front install, and if you notice, the sway bar end link does not line up, and that is because the other side is not lifted yet. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. One, you can actually compress this side up with a floor jack, which is what we're gonna do, so that this actually fits, or you can just go ahead and do the other side and then circle back to this step later on, and then at that point, both sides will be in the same position, and the sway bar end link will fit right in there. If you don't have one of these, highly recommend it. All right, it's just that easy. What did that take, 5 minutes?
Something like that.
Like 5 minutes, that was like a 5-minute job. All right, so these are our subframe spacers, little Pac-Man spacers we call them. Perfect. Basically the production part will look exactly like this, a 1/2 inch thick steel, and that is going to slide in right here. Risking it for the
bingo.
biscuit. It goes in and then hooks. Okay, so lower that other one until we get about a 1/2 inch gap here.
How's that?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay, that's basically the rear subframe drop done. Just loosen the bolts, put the spacers in, tighten the bolts back up. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. You've got a couple of spacers that are machined to fit over. There's a little protrusion that comes out, and the spacers are actually machined to fit over that, so you gotta make sure you put them on there properly. They won't fit if you put them on wrong, you'll see. But basically, you're gonna slide those over, take your factory bolts out, slide those over those little tips, and then these are the new bolts that come with the kit. You're just gonna put that in. All right, I'm gonna give you the quick rundown on how to install the spring spacer. This is so easy, you don't even need a video to see how to do it, right? I mean, I'm not kidding. You got a bolt right here, a nut right here, you're gonna take that off, and that allows you to disconnect the sway bar from the lower control arm. And then you've got a bolt here and a bolt here. And once those come out, this whole thing will slide down. Now, you don't wanna do that without having something under this, because this spring is under a lot of pressure. So you're gonna wanna put a floor jack. I usually use a floor jack. I don't like using a screw jack under a spring, under a lift. It's just a little bit sketchy to me, so I would definitely use a floor jack and have it on the floor. But once you have this supported, take these two bolts, and then you're gonna lower the floor jack to allow the pressure on the spring to release slowly. And then just pull the spring out, put the spacer on the top, put the spring back in, and it's all reverse order from there. Compress the spring back up with your jack, get it back into where back into place, and then your shock and then your hub bolt will go back in. There's nothing weird about it. It's a super easy job. All right, the last thing we're gonna do is the shock extension bracket. All right, the last thing we're gonna do, fix it in post. All right, before you start on the shock extension part of this, you wanna disconnect this rear brake line. Just unbolt it from right there. Just let it hang until we're done with this part, and then we'll put a brake line extension bracket that will put this down where it needs to be so that this brake line isn't stretched. That's how I would recommend doing it. Now I'm gonna show a clip right now of us doing that in the Santa Cruz, which has the exact same rear suspension as the Kia Sorento. Install the brake line bracket. So I want to point out that this is a Santa Cruz bracket. We are going to make one specifically for the Santa Fe that will fit that. But for the video, this is all we got on hand. So you'll have to use your imagination. They work the same way. It's just going to be a little bit tidier with the proprietary piece for the Santa Fe. Or the what did I call it? Santa Cruz? Sorento. This is a Sorento. I keep forgetting what this is. All right, and then you've got a little piece of aluminum here that's going to space it out a little bit. And then you just kind of tighten that up like that. There you go. And as you can see, not tight at all. Got a lot of wiggle room there on the brake line, so that puts it right in the right place where it needs to be.
Now that the car's back on the ground, you can see it sits a little bit high. So basically all you have to do is steer the wheels back and forth, and that'll get the suspension settled so you can get an accurate ride height.
All right, this is a 255 7017, and as good as this looks on here, it's not quite gonna fit. It rubs right back here. You could, if you really wanted to, just move the plastic back a little bit or cut away whatever's in the way. Most people are against that, but that's all you'd have to do really to get this to fit. But my recommendation is, if you don't want to cut anything or modify, to go with a 30.5. So that's gonna be a 245 7017. Another alternative would be to go with a 245 65 17, which is a more common size, but that's gonna be like a 29.5. A little bit bigger than stock, but not quite as big as this. It'll still look pretty good. All right, that wraps it up. As far as I know, this is the first lifted 2018 Kia Sorento with gray paint and faded headlights in existence in the entire world. So if you want this kit, it is available at HRGOffroad.com right now. This is a 1.5 inch kit. Now if you have a 4-wheel drive version, there's a 2-inch kit available. It's basically the same thing, it's just a little bit higher in the front. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video. I got my hands going.